Busy One, the only mecha character in here today, guys. Today, bringing you the new Koro leaks, which we got surprisingly early, but hey, not bad. Koro's always leaking new stuff for us, new stuff to find. We actually, fun fact, I found this, or well, no, me and my friend were sitting playing a game, and he was trying to look at the stats on Igglybuff, and he always used Cerebi, and he went and he found this at like 2 in the morning, so I was like, what the fuck? But I was just too tired to make a video then, so I'm making it now. So, first things up, we have a few new Pokemon in some Lowland Forms to discuss. First we have the fish thing, which I don't ever read off the Japanese names. Apparently it's a pure water type, but this is not its evolution. Its ability causes it to turn into the massive fish. I don't understand how that's gonna work, if it would be like a Zen mode thing, or if it would just be, or if it's just whenever it's hit by like a physical move or something, it just turns into this. I don't know, it's definitely gonna be an interesting mechanic to play with. Then we have Oricorio on the bottom. We've already seen Oricorio. Now if we can get to the next image. There we go. Now, this is one of my personal favorites right here. The Sandcastle. Apparently, the deal with it is that there's like a grudge that lives within the little one. Then when it evolves to the big one, it actually like steals people's souls to make them into grudges, to make them into the small ones again. And I think that's pretty badass. They're both going to be Ghost Ground typing, which basically is a Golurk, which is going to be awesome because it looks, I don't know, I just really like the look of this Sandcastle. Like, me personally, it just always looks like it's screaming. It's like, oh! I don't know, it's going to be amazing. It's definitely going to be on my Sun and Moon team. Next up, we have the thing that actually disproves our quote-unquote leaked Pokedex here, because in that Pokedex, nowhere did it say anything about an pre-evolution of Bewear, but we have it right here. Yep, the pre-evolution of Bewear will continue to remain normal fighting. Its abilities are not yet released because of translations and stuff. Actually, it might be if I go to the other page. But, yeah, I just think it's adorable. I don't really know how it stands or walks or anything, but I think it's adorable. And, I mean, it has Fluffy, and Fluffy works like what the hell is that move Foo gets? Fur Coat, I think, question mark. But no, if it works exactly like that, if Fluffy works like that, give this thing an Eviolite, it's a defensive monster. That's the way I see it. Alright, so next up, we have a Lowland Forms. Obviously, we have that big old Executor in the middle of the page. And then, well, even though you can see the Meowth, we're going to first talk about this thing right here. Because we all saw it coming. If you could read the Pokemon website, it said that the Fire-type dude used a Marowak. So, a Ghost Fire Marowak, not really that far out of the blue. But this kind of hit me. I mean, it makes sense now looking at it because it's a Dark-type Meowth. If you remember in the trailer, like the first ever trailer, there was a Meowth just chilling there. Don't mind the background noise, I think it's my cats. But I mean, that's definitely interesting. A Dark-type Meowth. And there's actually something I want to talk about once we get into the Pokedex side of things. And then finally, here we are on the last page. Now, this is basically saying that they're going to show Rockruff's secret evolution next month, which are going to probably show us how Rockruff evolves with the whole midnight thing and all that. And then we have in the corner Team Skull. Apparently a name of the team in a mystery dungeon game, but unique just the same. Who does she remind me of? This girl reminds me of something. I don't remember who. But obviously we have our male-female grunts right here. We have one of the admins. And then we have our leader right here. Now this is just my idea with the team. He's obviously a white man and they're obviously natives. So it goes back to that whole theory of he just wants to take over and make a little tropical paradise. Where he can just make money off of it and stuff. And the island natives don't realize that, so they help him, but then he screws them over in the end. And then, oh no, main protagonist, save us, and main protagonist saves us. But I mean, this is definitely interesting. Whatever that is around his neck, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, now to talk a little little bit more about Lowland because there's actually something really interesting. Need that. I need. No, I don't need that. Lowland Pokemon. Where is it? Right here. Lowland Meowth. Dark type Scratch Cat Pokemon. Lowland Meowth developed after being bred by the royal family of Alola, which actually does happen to cats. That's how we got, I think, the Siamese cat. I don't remember. But the royal family of Alola. So, once again, we don't know if there's gyms or not. Everyone's saying no, but there's still potential. Nobody's said no gyms. They've just thrown in this new element. But what if it's like... Geez, my voice. You have the 4 trial captains. You have the 4 Kapunas who are like your elite 4. What if your champion is like a king or queen? Because it's the royal family. And nobody's, like, I don't see anybody emphasizing on that, and I just like to just slip that in there, put that in the back of your mind, because it's definitely an interesting thing to think about. If you really think about it, because it's a royal family that nobody's questioning. We don't see anywhere where the royal family could live on the map. So it's like, I don't know. And then Marowak, a Lowland Marowak developed in response to its natural predators in order to resist them. So basically, people probably hunted down Marowak, and as a ground type, it was probably hunted down by like grass types, and it just couldn't handle that. So they gave it the fire typing. Why they gave it the ghost typing, I think, is just to give homage to, like, the Marowak in Lavender Town. Like, we all know the story. If you haven't played Gen 1, then you're bad. But, I mean, it's just interesting to think about, because that's the only plausible reason I could see for them giving something like that. But then, hold on. I want to check really quickly, see if they've updated any of the new Pokemon. But I mean, all in all, counting the fact that obviously the starters are each going to have 2 Evos, and that's all I'm counting on right now, counting the Lowland Forms and everything, we already have 50 Pokemon. We have 50 Pokemon. Okay, so they don't actually have an ability for it yet. But it's very popular among women and children, and tops out the list Pokemon people want to meet. It hates being touched, and will kick and struggle and resist. It's very powerful, but once it evolves into Beware, it truly gains heroically in strength. I personally think that this is basically going to be our... I don't know, because I don't think it would be... I mean, it basically is going to be our Ursaring, our Baratic, our Pangoro, because it's just so interesting to think about, because if this thing's already strong, well, yeah, it's just going to go along the same route with, probably like base 160 attack or something like that, like Ursaring has. Or no, Ursaring has base 140. I mean, it's going to have a high attack stat, so that's what we're getting. So that's interesting. So basically, as a Nikoguma, I'm guessing is how you pronounce that. Basically, as a Nikoguma, basically everyone wants to touch it, but it doesn't want to be touched. As a Beware, no one wants to touch it, but it wants to be touched. If that makes sense. Let's see. Then what else do we have? The Sandcastle. A grudge that delves inside of a pile of sand turns into a Pokemon. Truly a terrifying creature. It steals the life force of other Pokemon. Those Pokemon's grudges turn into new Sunbug. Because that's the name of this thing. So basically, his goal is like to make everything into him. Which is definitely an interesting thing to think about. But I don't know, everyone's been giving the Sandcastle a lot of shit from what I've seen. And I'm just like, yo, this Sandcastle's kinda dope. I don't know though, it's definitely going to be... It's definitely going to be some interesting things that we weren't expecting for another few days. So yeah, hopefully if you guys like this video, you'll go ahead and leave a comment about your opinions on some of the Pokemon and stuff. I know that Beware and that